sap of spring. It's freezing like mad. Anyway, we've got our pressure washer going, and Ollie's been on a road trip to pick these up. Some raw discs, 4 metre working width, and they're very tidy, but they've just been parked up a long while. You know, but scrapers and bearing wise and metal wise, wearing metal, they're nearly as new. And I think by the time he's finished, washing them off, they'll be very, very tidy. So if anybody wants a real good set of discs, give us a shout. Today's operation, well, we've got a massive odd up of water here. That's the pot what goes under our bridge. There's this problem thing here, this problem internet cable, phone cable, and it's like we've dug it up once about 2 years ago, and there was hell on. There was everyone on Facebook complaining they had no internet, and we didn't get in trouble for it, but it's all caved in and all our outfalls are underwater. So we're gonna just carefully dig the rest of the chalk out, so that bloody cable is sort of freewheeling. But I've said to Phil, I mean, he's probably better on the mini digger than I am, but I'm gonna do it, because if I catch it, it's me to blame. If he catches it, I will be annoyed. But you know what I'm saying. The tracks were frozen solid, so we had to thaw them out in sun before we set off doing job, because all idlers were frozen, and everything seems to be turning freely and dropping off, so job's good. Nice to drive up the now, low loader. Caught it a little bit, but not for summer. But we know what's going to happen here, because these Z-bends here claim some bloody victims. You know, forget Frosty night, we've had all sorts of different vehicles with an 8-wheeler wagon in the field, and bloody hell, he got three lengths in here, bogged at our souls. That was a winch job. But yeah, we've took that bit out, so hold up all these bloody bits of rubble what's been built in the bridge years ago, and it's released about a foot of water at this side, and you can see now, we can see our outfall out of this 10 acre. So I think by sort of tea time that'll be showing now, when it's got rid of a bit of water. I think in time I'm going to have to bring our big digger down there. They're a bit steady on their pins outside this morning, because with it being really wet, they've sort of spiked the soil up, and now it's frozen solid, and they're on they're just on their tiptoes moving across it because it's rough on their hooves. But they'll be all right once they get out into flat going. But just near their corral where they're feeding, it's just a bit rough on their legs. But I would hope this is the only tank we've got frozen up this morning. We've started making tanks out of 50-gallon drums because we've found that the galvanised ones, they're that paper thin nowadays, they don't last long. So we build simple frames, and the advantage of it, you can take the bung out at the bottom to tip them, you know, to clean them out. But we are sort of, well, we've got a couple to build what we want on a tip system, you know, like the new ones where you have a flexible hose on it and you can tip it out. So, because I think it's very important, especially with fat cattle, to have clean water, isn't it? Yeah, very, very cold. And there's a little bit of breeze as well, which is making it even colder. Feel the cassia barley, and Christ, when I drilled it, I thought we were past the day, you know, the window for drilling winter barley at back end. It was very, very late. It was well into October. About the time it had dried out and let us get a chance, yeah, we would sort of decided that, anyway, do or die sort of thing. Anyway, we put a massive seed rate on. Hey up. Got one of the tram lines not working, look. There's 2 shut-offs there. They ain't shut off there. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we thought we were past the drilling window for winter barley, but I know cassia is a very vigorous variety. It grows like mad, and it's not very popular anymore. We struggle to get seed, but our local seed merchant, well, grain merchant, Mortimer's at Driffield, they've got a lot of customers what still, you know, favourites, so they keep growing it for their customers, and you can still get a bit of seed. I tell you what, there's no wrong with this, is there? To say, I sort of mauled it in. In fact, there was a place in here, this wet hole, where every time I went through it, I nearly got stuck. And but it got to a point that if you'd waited for that, you'd have never have got it. But I tell you what, there's nothing wrong with that. But we drilled it at a massive seed rate, 220 kilos per hectare. It was sort of do or die, it really was. But some would say too thick. In fact, I would agree with them, but I would say it's better off looking like that than sparse, like up on the hill. But yes, very frosty this morning. We've got a 5 acre just away from farm, next door to some horrible blackgrass area, what we peacoed. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But I've been monitoring it, and it was very, very thin up to, I don't know, sort of 6 weeks back, and it's tillered massively, and a lot of growth. What we thought the seed had rotted off in this wet area has actually sort of, I don't know, it's come from somewhere anyway. But that is a big wet area here. And we've got a bit of a trial with a chemical company. I can't really tell you any more than that, to be fair. It's sort of new research and one thing or another we work with, but it's top secret stuff. And what we get told is to leave odd block of 40 metres by 24 metres with our sprayer, so we don't put anything what we'd use at back end, like any of our residual chemicals on that bit. And then they come with their new, well, whatever, they come with their research. Yeah, it looked fantastic this week, really pleased. Come here, dog. Come on, Willa, come here. This is the land we keep working. And look at the blackgrass problem. This is the worst field we've got. But we left it as a field of wheat, what never got any residual last year. And it shed its seed, and Well, it's shocking. In fact, I'm gonna, if I get a chance, I'm off to maybe have, I don't know, maybe leave this one fallow and clean it up for next year. See if we can have another 3 or 4 blitzes like this. This really wants Roundup and then working again, but yeah, it's a mess, that, isn't it? This one isn't so good. This was one of early fields, early drill fields of wheat and all, and it just came a deluge of rain at the wrong time. It might tiller. I mean, it ain't so bad here, but where it is the real wet areas, down this headland's a write-off nearly. I think we'll nearly cut that off. And there's some wet areas in the middle, they're into lot. It will tiller at spring a bit, but yeah, disappointing really. This is the worst one we've got. But you can't win them all, can you? But what we've done, we've eliminated a lot of this problem in this field because we know it's a wet one. There's some real big springs. As soon as winter, as soon as you get into back end, they start sort of pumping water up, and it just floods the spot out. It's not just the rains what come down to from the heavens. It's the water coming up as well. But we've eliminated it by putting, there's 2 stewardship schemes at the top of the field. This headland never grows nothing, and we've put some SFI burn mix in that. So we are still earning from the field. There's a spring here, look. I don't know where he's raised his head, but a little spring here, and there's hundreds of them all over the field. More so now than there ever has been, I think. Yeah, this is just a little bit of bird mix. It's about spent now. It's about done. Bit of seed left there. Look, I think that's a little bit of mustard. But the rest of it's about done. Like all oats have been shredded. There's a bit of barley and one thing or another. So. Any bother, driver?
No. Like our older, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks a good, genuine little arrow, doesn't it? Good packer on it. V-form looks alright and all, doesn't it? For its age, because it's a 4002. I know it says 4003 on that side, but that's been a replacement side guard. But it's a very, very tidy, genuine thing, I reckon. When we get it washed off, get all soil off it, it'll be right.
It's not always a good sign, is it?
What?
Air ambulance going over.
Oh yeah, see, little yellow dot. Yeah, and it's Cousin's V-form. Right, you know. Get them washed off, they'll be 2 different machines. You may laugh, but we're building our drives up on our Bunnings spreader, because I did ring a company, SAS Spreaders, and the fellow was really helpful. I do need some bits off him. We need some beta blades, but these drives are £175, 170 a piece. And I'm sort of building them up with weld, because for the bit we do, I think they'll be fine. And it's not just the price of the parts, it's the fitting them. It'll be an absolute bloody pig, because I think they're welded to shafts. So effort I'm putting in is saving me the job of cutting them off and re-welding other ones on. They're knackered though, aren't they?
Have you just ground them off?
No, I've just sort of shaped them, but that's the finish. That's what I've rebuilt them to.
Oh, right. Oh, they'll be.
I think
They'll be fine.
it's only bloody rough hard chain pulling through, innit? And there's a bit, actually, bit of shaping to do with them. They aren't finished yet. It's a marvellous piece. Well, let's give this a wash off for our pal, and whipping it back to his farm. His farm's called, or one of his farms is called the Jungle. That's a good name for a farm, isn't it? The Jungle. Very time consuming, that job. Anyway, I'll have an hour or two tomorrow and then we'll get chains back on. And I'm thinking, to be fair, I'm going to do it front and all. The front idlers are quite warm, and I think, because Phil says they're very noisy, so when the chains... The dog's mental. Every time you stop a tractor, it just wants to run and follow its tracks. It's mental, absolutely mental. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm off to rebuild the front idlers as well. Just have a look at these lot. Going to be a cold one. You can just tell by looking at the sky and the sunset. Oof. These lot are utilising the rotten fodder, but they're getting through it slowly. But bah, it's starting to stink in this field. Ooh, she's a Brighton. Shouldn't complain really, but yes, it's going to be a very, very cold night. So we're going to try and get through these hard heaps of straw, because, well, so we have a fresh do. This is bloody second quality straw, what was 2-year-old. So, no, that ain't back, it's at 4-year-old. We got off that pig farm, and to be fair, it did a job. It's good, ain't bad straw. But yeah, we just want to clear up. But these lot are doing fantastic outside. In fact, some of them are getting quite fleshy. You know, they're taking the fault whatsoever to say what we're giving them and growing like mad.